tournament, John posted a 45:52, and lylovir posted a 1 hour and 11 seconds. So it should be a close match. We'll see what happens, and then Swordless will be right after.
Yeah, Swordless is definitely one of those categories that's going to be a real treat to watch, especially if you've never actually seen it before. Believe it or not, you can almost beat the entire game swordless up until the Ganon fight. But let's focus on 100% since that's going to be our first race tonight. Do you think these folks are going to be running 3 first routes? I'm guessing that's what both of their PBs are on.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see. Tetrally and I were actually talking about that a little bit before. We'll see what they end up doing, but I think based on our conversation, I think 3 first probably makes the most sense. So let's see.
Yeah, the interesting thing with the 100% is that whether you start with 2 or 3, you're going to have a difficult combat situation, either getting the magic boomerang in level 2 with only 3 hearts, or going up against Gleeok with only 4 hearts and wood sword. So as a result, looks like we're getting started right about now.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what route they decide to take. Very high level speaking, you could go 3 first or 2 first. Those are the main divergence of the routes. Let's see. Looks like Lyle's going to 3 first, and John is.
Okay, so this will be a good match to keep track of who's in the lead. Oh, Lyle's having a little bit of an issue with Mateo, which is the community's name for the Tektite out in front of level 3.
He's tough. He's firm but fair, but they both get through. So I guess what you'll see at first is that, this 100% is fairly similar to any percent in terms of the starts. There will be some divergence around the middle and obviously picking up the extra items, but let's see. Lyle does not get the lucky bomb. John decides to take the top.
Oh, interesting. Lyle, okay, I was going to say, don't you need bombs before you start fighting those Dark Nuts? But he must have realized that and came back to get the bomb drop from these red Dark Nuts.
The race nerves might be a little real, but yeah, let's see if he gets through. He does get...
Yeah, I think one advantage that John does have is that he's a more experienced racer because Lyle's relatively new to racing Z1. Although John having a little bit of trouble, his sword just barely didn't reach the keys there.
So yeah, well, that's one of the potential downsides of top route is that if you do lose your beams and you get a troll keys like that, you'll get stuck waiting. So, but luckily John gets some candy bombs. Let's see.
Oh yeah, he's doing great. Double pack of candy bombs.
Ooh, Lyle is in trouble. Only 1 bomb. Oh, didn't get a drop.
Yikes. He's going to take a risk on the Dark Nuts, and it pays
off.
Takes
a chance, and it paid off. Now getting the raft. Now it's on to our favorite friend, Manhandla. Tetrally, tell us a little bit about Manhandla.
Yeah, so if you like RNG, you're going to love Manhandla. Manhandla is a little bit hard to predict what direction they're going to go in, so really the best strategy is to place a bomb and hope for the best. There really isn't much more to it than that, is there?
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they're actually arriving. They're a little bit in sync. Lyle looks a few seconds behind, but John is about to meet our dear friend Manhandla. Let's get some bless RNGs in chat.
Yeah, now the difference is that Lyle's going to have a little bit of an easier spot. Oh, using pause strats.
Yeah, good one.
Although Lyle just sets the bomb down and makes it look easy.
Ooh, just as we kind of expected. We've got a close one so far.
Wow, when have you ever seen a race where both of the runners just get Manhandla without any trouble at all? I don't think that's ever happened before to me.
Yeah. And so just hopefully this won't come up, but just for an FYI for the specific category for 100% No Up+A, if you do take a death, you do have to touch back to the room that you did take that death in. So that would be pretty rough, especially that late in the level 3. So hopefully it doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, but they're both going to be going into level 4 with relatively high bomb counts. John at 8, Lyle at 4. Level 4 is a tricky one because on a 3 first route, you basically don't have the ability to get bombs unless you use a bomb to kill an enemy with because of the way the Vyres and Zol split up. So it's really important to keep your bomb count and also be aware of your 10 count as you're going through. So, Pronzo, what exactly do I mean by a 10 count?
Something about counting from 1 to 10. I don't know. I mess it up all the time in my runs personally. But basically, if you're not familiar with Legend of Zelda, if you do kill 10 enemies consecutively in a row, Depending on how you kill it, you could either force a bomb or a 5 rupee drop. If you bomb the enemy, it'll drop a bomb. If you stab it, it'll drop a 5 rupee, provided that the enemy can drop an item. Otherwise, it'll...
Yeah, there's going to be some exceptions to that, but that's basically the idea, is if you kill 10 enemies in a row and you kill the 10th one with a bomb, you'll force a bomb drop with some exceptions and what have you. But that's exactly what lylovir did to get that bomb drop from the Zol just now. So he's going to be in pretty good shape with the bomb, and John was able to get the force as well. So both of these folks having a pretty good breakfast room.
Breakfast. Pancakes were giving Lyle a little bit of trouble, but he decided to finish up. And again, it's amazing. They're pretty much in sync right now. So.
Yeah, within seconds of each other. So it's still anybody's race here.
So it might be interesting to see. I'm not sure. Do you think they're going to grab the error key by any chance, Tetra?
For 100%, I think usually it's you pick 2 of the error key, pirouetting in level 1, which we'll explain when we get there, and Moldorm.
Let's see if they decide to diverge or what path they decide to take. Okay, so they are both going for the error key.
Yeah, this is a key that's a little bit out of the way, but because of this keystream that they're in right now, they're able to rack up their count and have an easier time getting it up to a multiple of 10 for when they want to bomb these fires and hopefully get a nice special there.
Nice, so Lyle did get some bombs, John unfortunately didn't, and we're coming up to our dear friend, the Gliok.
Oh, Gliok.
For context, if you're fighting Gliok with the wood sword, it does take a whopping 16 hits, so you have to be careful, and each orb does 1 heart of damage, so let's get some more blessed RNGs in chat. But they both have beams, so it looks like they're both playing...
doing a damage list.
Ooh, Lyle!
This is... Wow, I am seriously impressed. That's a lot harder than it looks.
John using the pros strats, a little bit of hard trouble, but let's see, he did knock off 1 head, so there should only be a few hits remaining. It's 10 for the first and 6 for the...
Yeah, what the runners are doing is keeping an eye on the sort of orbs that Gliok is firing, because there can only be 1 on the screen at a time. But John's able to make it through, get all 16 hits, and we'll be joining lylovir doing the walk across the Lost Woods here in just a sec.
And if you folks haven't watched many Legend of Zelda runs, there's going to be a neat little trick coming up. I remember it blew my mind the first time I saw it, so just pay attention to Lyle's screen. John will be following shortly, but they're both basically taking the same run.
Yeah, they're going to be doing what we call a world wrap, which is doing the regular screen scroll trick, but going all the way to the left side of Hyrule, and then screen scrolling 1 more to wrap you back around to the east coast.
Lyle with some clean wraps, looking good so far.
Yeah, having a little trouble with the clip, but gets right on out. So they're both on their way to level 2 right now, and this is a little bit different than the any % route, where you would be going to level 1 next.
So what can you tell us about level 2, Tetra Lee?
Well, it's very blue, it's moon-shaped, and there's a lot of snakes we call ropes. The thing about 100% is that they're going to be looking for the magical boomerang, which is guarded pretty well by the blue gorillas in this room, which we'll see in just a little bit when they get to level 2. On their way, they're going to be picking up the heart from that island that John is doing, as well as the 30 secret from the automated teller moblin or ATM that Lyle's at.
Speaking of ATMs, I mean, level 2 can actually be viewed that way in terms of resources as well. You know, aside from the magical boomerang, it's a great place to fill up on rupees, bombs. You basically have the ropes, which are in the rupee drop group, as well as gorillas who can drop bombs as well. So it's great for refilling. But they're going to be dealing with a little bit of a tricky room when it comes up to the magical boomerang. As you'll see, they have to fight the blue gorillas, probably using bomb strats. Let's see what they do.
Lyle having 8 bombs going in is going to skip the red gorillas, which is a wise move since normally you kill those just to get more bombs. So Lyle's going to be the first to go in this room. Between the BMOS turrets in the corners, what Lyle's going to be doing is stabbing and bombing each one of them. They have a total of 5 HP. The bomb does 4 damage, stabbing does 1 with the wood sword, and Lyle's able to make it out with only 2 hearts remaining, which should be enough, but health can be a little bit dicey if he doesn't get the right heart refills here.
So it looks like he's skipping the Moldorm due to having not needing the key, so he should be okay. I definitely want to give him credit on how he handled the blue Gurias, excuse me. He got lucky. One of them spawned right by the bomb spot, so he's able to save the bomb by doing that.
Now, one difference here that might become an issue is that while Lyle's great with bombs, he's 2 rupees short of having enough rupees to do the JSR route. So there's 2 major 3 first routes. I don't know, does Lyle do JSR or Unos's route?
I'm not actually sure. I guess we'll find out shortly. Basically, if he goes to buy the candle next, or is going to attempt to, he will be doing the JSR route. But again, as Tetrally mentioned, he is short 2 rupees right now. So if he starts farming, that's probably a good tell.
Ooh, speaking of being short, John down to half a heart. He's got to be careful here.
Oh, come on, John. This room is scary.
Using the boomerang to stun. That's, he must be desperate if he's using the boomerang there.
But he's using all his bombs, too. This is
a
little tough. Hopefully he doesn't get a Trolldongo. Sometimes a Dodongo will take some crazy paths. Uh-oh, Lyle tried to buy the candle.
Oh, no.
He just realized he was short.
Uh-oh. Well, hopefully these moblins will be nice to him.
Ooh, John narrowly avoiding danger, did get the kill. But
and
unfortunately
of course,
did have
Lyle
to
gets plenty of bomb drops, yet no rupees. I swear the game knows sometimes.
The game knows. The game knows, Tetrally.
All right, there's his 60th rupee.
Okay, we're good. We could go shopping now.
All right, yeah. Not too big of a setback for Lyle, but that definitely did cost him a little bit of time. John making his way through level 2, getting a nice sturdy refill of health, and will be joining Lyle really shortly, I believe. Yeah, it looks like both of them are going to be doing the JSR route that involves getting a candle, followed by doing some foraging of a heart container by the coast, as well as the 100 secret in the forest that Lyle will be burning down right now.
So yeah, if you're wondering in this category, why does he need the 100 secret, he's going to be going to level 5 next, and there is a bomb upgrade there, which costs 100 rupees, so Lyle, let's see, he's going to be picking up the heart, and then he'll be picking up the 100 secret and then heading back to level 5.
Yeah, and to answer the question in chat about the magic shield, we define 100% as collecting any permanent, non-upgradable, non-consumable item. So basically, you only need the best in any category. So you don't need the white sword, but you do need the magical sword. You do need the red candle, but not the blue candle. The magic shield doesn't count because it's considered consumables because you can lose it to pancakes or legs. Yeah.
Yeah, just to further, just a little side note as well. It's interesting because they do pick up the blue candle in the JSR route, but they will be still picking up the red in level 7 when we get.
Yep, exactly. That's just because financially, it's really hard to make the route work both with keys and money, because you go to level 7 where the red candle is very towards the end of the run because of keys. So if you went there earlier to get the red candle, then you'd have to backtrack and yeah. But yeah, Lyle is really on fire, probably about a good 30 or so seconds ahead of John at this point. So he's going to be going up to pick one of the other non-consumable items here, the letter.
Got the letter. And then he'll also be going to pick up the Northeast 100 secret as well. Again, this section of the run is very rupee and resource driven. There will be, again, the 100 secret for the bombs, or not 100 secret, excuse me, the 100 rupees required to buy the bomb upgrade, as well as do some shopping.
Yep, exactly. So they're going to be doing shopping a little bit later in this run, and but what will happen first is they'll go into level 5 trying to work up their count in order to get bombs off of the blue dark nuts in the room we like to call the Olive Garden.
Is anyone craving some pasta? I feel like I am.
I don't know. I'm feeling kind of like soup, salad, and unlimited breadsticks. What about you, Pronto?
I could sure go for some breadsticks. I hope Lyle and John have the same appetite as well.
Well, I don't know if they have much choice in the matter, because they do need that recorder in order to beat level 5. But yeah, it looks like Lyle's the first one into level 5. One thing I noticed is the bomb situation. John down to only 2 bombs, so he'll probably need to take this bomb pack from the Gibdos on his way in, whereas Lyle, I imagine, is going to let it be for the way back. So it looks like
Lyle. Are you seeing John's screen? What is he doing?
Oh, wait a minute. How did he get up there? John, get down from there. You're not allowed. Okay, thank you. Much better.
Okay, he listened, so that's good.
In all seriousness, what he did was called a HUD clip, where if, just like with the screen scroll, if you're 5 pixels away from the side of the screen, if you're 5 pixels away from the border between the main part of the screen and the HUD, you can actually clip up into the HUD, do some scrolling, and then come right back down. So that's, it doesn't really save too much time. I think only on the order of a second or two on this route, but boy, does it look good for swag.
Swag indeed. And Lyle getting the bomb upgrade has 12 now. Normally in any percent, this room is pretty scary. With 12 bombs and a decent amount of hearts, he should be okay. These are all blue dark nuts. They pack a punch, 2 hearts of damage if you touch them. So Lyle doing a decent job though so far, playing it patient and safe.
Oh, took 1 bob there, but having fairly good luck. Oh, careful.
Oh,
yeah.
Careful.
How many runs have you lost to these blue dark nuts in level 5?
No comment. How about yourself?
Yeah. One other difference worth pointing out is that Lyle looks like he went to the recorder room before the bomb upgrade. So he's down to 2 bombs now, and that's because he had a lot coming in. So he'll be able to refill. Or no, I'm sorry, he did go... Wait, did he get the bomb upgrade already? Yeah, I guess
yes.
he had to. Okay, sorry, I must have missed that on my end.
No worries. Let's
he'll at least have a little bit of a refill on his way back.
Let's check in on John. About to get some breadsticks as well, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully his are as hot and fresh as Lyle's. Ooh, getting some nice bombs there.
Yeah, getting some good patterns. Let's see. Come on, John.
You can do it. Okay, got an 8 HP one there. Nice bomb there.
There we go. Yeah, I got 2 for 1 there. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
Ooh, Lyle's smoking a Dodongo. I like it.
Is smoking Dodongos even legal in this state? I don't know.
No comment.
Yeah, it's probably best to just focus on how good of a job John is doing with that.
Yeah, clean, no damage.
Exactly.
All right, so let's catch up with Lyle. He's going to be coming up on our good friend Dig Dogger, who apparently doesn't like music.
Yeah, so he's going to be using the recorder that we just got earlier in this level to take down our friend Dig Dogger here. So usually place a bomb, then split Dig Dogger up using the recorder, and then it looks like he's going to double bomb. Sometimes people sword down the rest of Gleok, but that can be a little bit dangerous with just the wood sword.
Yeah, I mean, I respect that play, especially in the race situation. One or two touches or miss swings, and Lyle could have been in a lot of trouble. So he was playing a little safe. He did have extra bombs for the Dodongo, so that was a very smart play on his part.
Yep, exactly. So it looks like we might see John smoking a couple of Dodongos himself to get back up on bombs here. Oh, got a good one right there. They're going to be going to level 1 next, after recording to level 4. The reason why we do level 1 later in a 100% run is because there's 2 places where we need to pick up both a racing heart as well as a 30 secret. And if you don't have the candle early, it's very difficult to do that. It involves backtracking. So that's why they took a detour over to level 2 first and are now going to be handling these candle required tasks and foraging before going into level 1.
Yeah, Lyle picked up the meat. There are actually 2 options to pick up the meat on the JSR route. It's either at the coast, as Lyle did, or there's one by level 8. A little later in the run, which gives you a little less rupee pressure, but Lyle was feeling confident, so he picked it up early.
Yep, exactly.
John, no problems with... wow, I'm blanking. Dig Dogger, sorry.
Yeah, one of those D bosses. There's so many of them. Dodongos, Dig Doggers, yeah. They do kind of blur after a while.
They're all delightful.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the word I would have chosen, but it does start with D, I'll give you that.
So if you're watching Lyle's screen, what he did was he went in and out of level 1, and that's what the Z1 community, we call it the pirouette, where basically it's a little glitch in the game that unlocks the top door for free, basically, so he didn't have to spend a key.
Yep, and now we see Lyle bombing into the top of level 1 here, and he'll be picking up his bow after dealing with our friend the Stalfos here, and on his way to pick up the bow right in the next room. John's still a little bit behind, maybe 30 seconds to a minute, but still anyone's race. With Zelda 1 and all the RNG and combat that can go wrong, you never really know until the race is done how it's going to work out.
Yeah, great point. And there are some potentially scary levels coming up, more so in 100%. Levels 6 and 8, you do have to make some extra detours, deal with some extra combat that can get a little sketchy, so it's still anyone's race, but it's awesome to see that they're still pretty much in the same ballpark. Lyle giving John a run for his money.
Yep, absolutely. You'll note that John did not pirouette over on his side. I think because he chose to skip a different key earlier in the level. And so his spawn pattern is going to be a little bit different than Lyle's, but this is just another example of how John's knowledge of the game can really benefit him. As Lyle takes down Aquamentus, a boss that does not begin with a D, and gets his Triforce from level 1.
Smooth level 1 for Lyle. Tetrally, where is he going to be going next?
Seeing that he has 72 rupees, probably to this 30 secret right here, so that he has enough money to buy his arrow, because the wood arrows are going to be required along with that bow for level 6s, which is where both of them are going to eventually be going. I think John has a lot more rupees, so he might actually be... Oh, that's right, he didn't buy bait yet. That's the difference.
Yeah, so I'm guessing he'll probably do it before 8, is my theory.
Yeah, that's likely. The other thing that's a variable that I don't know whether John has in mind having more money here is whether either of them will buy a potion. Getting potions in 100% is a little bit more tricky because you have to get all the hearts from the take-any's, unless you can't really get a bomb from them. So as a result, if you want a potion, you actually have to buy it from one of the potion sellers for 40 rupees for blue and 68 rupees for red.
Cool, and
now,
we just
being
saw
so evenly matched, they may not choose to take one for safety, or they may choose one and figuring the other person might need a potion but not have one. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen here.
Yeah, we just saw Lyle pick up the power bracelet, picking up the magical sword now, and then we'll be entering into level 6. And yeah, this is, something interesting that Tetrally and I were talking about is that, we wonder how much kind of the way the tournament was set up is that the runners got to choose the category one by one. So you wonder how much kind of gamification is going on here, because I know John intentionally picked swordless for the next race, which will be pretty interesting, because Lyle only learned that category for this tournament. So it's kind of an interesting one.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of interesting metagaming behind all of this. So in the meantime, Lyle's going to be entering level 6. One of the things about level 6 that's different about 100% is that you'll have to be getting the wand. We don't usually use the wand in a run itself, just because arrows are usually more effective, as well as an item in level 8, which makes the wand considerably less useless. But he's still going to be going through the magical breakfast room, as we call it, with all those whiz robes, pancakes, and what are the bubbles? Eggs, I think? Taking a little bit of damage. Ooh, and a red beam. Ouch. Careful, Lyle.
Ooh, and he did have a beautiful belfry too. I definitely wanted to comment on that. He cleaned out the keys very cleanly, but in a little bit of heart trouble because he's going to start taking the detour from the any percent route to get the wand, and there is another room of whiz robes you have to deal with. So, little worried about the health situation right now.
Yeah, speaking of the health situation, we just saw John pick up a blue potion for 40 rupees, like I was predicting. So that's that could potentially be a big difference. Hopefully it won't be, because obviously we root for all of our runners to have a good run with no combat issues. But sometimes in a race situation, those red Wizrobes were looking very ominous and can do a lot of damage to you. But he makes it through the wand room and is going to be picking up what I like to call in my splits my inventory filler, because you don't really use it for very much.
Well, we'll see that next race, though. But quite
true.
a bit,
And swordless, obviously, you use the wand.
Yeah, but Lyle doing a great job, though. He's hanging in there. He's still not out of the woods yet. We will be getting some breakfast again. This will be our 3rd serving, magical breakfast from 2.
Yes. Well, yes, we've had 1 breakfast and 2 breakfasts, but what about 11sies?
I've always been a fan of breakfast food, so that's fine. So.
Yeah. Then again, Pranzo, what food are you not a fan of?
Touche.
All right, so speaking of breakfast, John going to be going in the first breakfast room here. And as Lyle's in MB2, or Magical Breakfast 2. Oh, down to a heart and a half.
Careful, Lyle.
He'll probably...
Should
actually,
okay.
No, don't want a commentator's curse.
You're right, you're right.
What's going to happen. He may live, he may die. We don't know. Not going to curse it.
But yeah, John in a very similar health situation as Lyle was, going to fetch the wand. I think Lyle had 5 or 6 hearts. I forget exactly how many, but it was very close. So again, the wand is not free in this category by any means.
No, it is not. So hopefully he'll have good luck getting some bomb damage, using pause strats to avoid the red Wizrobe beam very wisely.
And for context, for those in chat, if you're not familiar, red Wizrobe beam does 4 hearts of damage, so that would not be good. Absolutely
not. Although the blue Wizrobes are the ones that move the most erratically and are my least favorite, as a certain emote of mine shows. But John... Rude. Yes, John making it out of the wand room. Still 4 hearts. A red beam from a red Wizrobe would one-shot him. But Lyle's made it out of level 6 and will be going on to our next favorite level, level 8. Tell us about level 8, 100% run, John.
Oh man, level 8. So level 8 is bad enough in any percent, but in this category, you have to deal with a couple extra rooms. You've got to deal with a troll handler that's out to get you. You have to nail down a blue Goma as well. It's just a mess at 100%. So definitely keep your eye. Oh no, John just taken to death. Just saw that.
Oh, and with a potion in his hand too. Oh no.
Oh, this could be really bad news for John. Let's see if he can recover.
Now, on the bright side, he at least does have the potion, so we'll be able to get through if he remembers to use his potion this time.
Lyle, filleting the manhandler, no problem. And so now he's going to be getting the book, so that's item 1 of 2 of level 8. When he gets to the second Blue Lagoon, he will be making another detour from there to get the magical.
Yeah, the book is what causes the wand to be a lot less useful. It emits fire from any wand shot, so that can be really hazardous when using it as a melee weapon.
It's interesting to see that John, he's not used his potion yet, I believe, so he's definitely playing it a little aggressive. Let's see what happens. It's going to be a breakfast.
He may want to save it till later, and I can't really blame him for doing it, but the problem is, and I learned this when I was learning the run, is that a potion doesn't really do much. Potion, John, potion. Use your potion.
Oh no, he's pushing it.
John.
Ooh, hang in there, John.
Wow, okay.
And on Lyle's screen, did get through Blue Lagoon 1. There will be a second one of those coming up right in this next door, so more Dark Nut action for you.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm so nervous seeing John on half a heart. Oh my gosh.
Keys please! Keys please! Oh, he's using boss strats? Oh no.
Oh no!
John!
No!
Taking an unfortunate death to a Keys kiss.
You know, it's funny, we joke sometimes about how Keys are the toughest enemies in the game, but did John use his potion and I just missed it? I don't think so.
He did.
Oh, Lyle almost getting a 1 cycle on the Goma. This blue Goma here takes 3 hits, and he got, I think, 2 and almost a 3rd.
Ooh, yeah, getting a 1 cycle in Goma, I mean, it's tough to do with all the orbs flying at you, and it could potentially save you, like 20, 30 seconds if you can. But, either way, Lyle does get through. little bit of heart trouble potentially for the upcoming Gleeok fight, but let's see how he hangs in there.
Yeah, he's going to be taking it nice and slow, getting some heart drops from the Dark Nuts, which definitely makes things a lot easier.
Ooh, John down to half a heart again. Oh no. John, hang in there.
Oh gosh, I get so nervous watching folks with such little health, but John's an experienced Z1 runner, so I believe in him. Meanwhile, Lyle's going to be going back towards Gleeok, the four-headed one that's the boss of level 8, taking a little bit of damage from the Dark Nuts on the way, though. He's got to be careful. He doesn't have a lot of health yet.
Looks like he might be trying to... Oh, I was going to say, maybe there is a room bomb if you clear out the enemies in there, so it kind of looked like he was going for that, but he might have been fishing for hearts, too, was my guess.
All right, John making it through the last
John
few whiz ropes, and we'll be making it out of level 6 in one piece this time.
Let's go, John. And on Lyle's screen, we'll be facing the Gleeok right now, the four-headed. Nice and clean fight from Lyle.
And remembering to pick up the heart. That's often one that people save until later in the run. Or don't pick up in a run to save time, rather. But is required for 100% since all 16 heart containers are needed. Oh, I see. John is telling us in chat he's been saving his potion for level 8, which, while stressful, I guess is a good strategy since level 8, as we saw with Lyle, can be pretty deadly in addition to 6.
Alright, so Lyle will be now heading off to level 7. Be picking up a 100 secret along the way. Again, there is another bomb upgrade in level 7, which is 100 rupees, so he is a little short right now, which is, it's inherent in this route. So picking up the 100, trying to do the screen score right now, but having a little trouble. Yeah. Made it through.
But Lyle definitely having a pretty good run so far. Had to slow down in a couple of small spots, but generally speaking, he's been just going through, not letting anything phase him. Not even the whiz ropes. Although the whiz ropes phase. Okay, bad joke, but you get the idea. He's having a pretty good run. And it's about to go into level 7 here.
And I'm wondering, I think, is he on PB pace? I'd have to check the numbers real quick.
Yeah, I am not sure. Ooh, getting a little bit boomeranged by those blue Gibdos there. Blue Gorillas. And we'll be getting his bomb upgrade for 100 rupees, putting him to the maximum capacity of 16 bombs.
So if I remember correctly, I think Lyle, again, I think he just PB'd in 100% last night. I think it was around a 42, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to find the post. But looking to be, like, again, as Touchfully said, a very solid run from him so far.
Yep. Absolutely, and it's going through, actually getting out the wand for the river room. Interesting that he would choose to get out the wand with 50 rupees in his pocket, although for all I know, he might be saving up for a potion himself.
Ah, that is a good call. Yeah, especially in a race situation, it's very different from PB attempts. If PB attempts, you'd probably just go, but, knowing that you're actually head-to-head against one, and this is, just one match, there is absolutely no harm in playing it a little bit safer and grabbing a potion, just in case 9 decides to troll you, because it never does.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if Lyle's actually listening to our commentary right now, but it would be a valid strategy for him to hear that he has a little bit of a lead and maybe has the time to pick up a potion for safety. So another one of these examples of metagaming.
All right, yeah, let's check in on John. He's in Blue Lagoon currently right now, and in a little bit of health trouble again. The Dark Nut's just not cooperating. Again, that never happens in Z1, apparently. Right, Tetrally?
No, absolutely not.
Ooh,
and of course, since he was saving up the potion for level 8, the fairies come to his rescue, because of course they do.
The game knows.
Exactly.
Ooh, almost one-cycled Goma, too. It was very close, got 2 shots, has to wait out for the third one for the eye to open again.
Ooh, speaking of how Lyle's a little low. He's down to 3.5 in level 7. You know, level 7 is one of those levels where the combat isn't necessarily hard, but all the damage from those boomerangs can really add up quickly if you're not careful. Getting 2 hearts from Dig Dogger, though, definitely helps.
That definitely helps. And yeah, I 100% agree with you, Tetrally. Level 7 is definitely like a lot about movement. You have to learn to avoid all those bananas. They're just chucking them at you. You got to make sure you don't take damage because, as you know, they'll add up real quick. I mean, you know, as you see, Lyle lost a little bit over half his health, and you know, it's a little bit of a rough situation. The rest of the level is pretty straightforward, though. He should be fine as long as he doesn't get too much bubble trouble in here.
Yep, he's going to need to be very careful around those wall masters because a hit by one of those will take him all the way back to the start of the level, which is another one of those things. Like, I have never lost a run by getting caught in a wall master, as I'm sure you haven't either.
Oh, never.
Of course.
I think it's a rite of passage, if I'm not mistaken. It's a rite of passage for every Zelda runner, I think, to get wall mastered at some point.
Pretty much. Lyle getting a lucky bomb drop going into the Aqua Menace room, and as soon as he hits Aqua Menace, I think it's 2 times with the magical sword, although it looked like 3 there, he will have his last piece of the Triforce and be on his way to level 9, just as John is finishing up level 8 here.
Ooh, level 9. What happens in level 9, Tetrally?
What doesn't happen in level 9, Pronzo?
A lot of tears, a lot of frustration, a little bit of everything.
On the bright side for these runners, in 100%, it's a little bit different than the any percent categories because one of the items that they need to pick up is the red ring. You don't normally do that in any percent route because it's out of the way, but what's really great is that as soon as you get that red ring, it will lessen by a factor of 4 the amount of damage you take, effectively quadrupling your available health.
Yeah, so essentially, with the runners going in with 16 hearts, times 4, that's 64 hearts equivalent once you get the red ring. So there's something that's very satisfying about 100% whenever I play it. I don't know about you, Tetrally, but as soon as you get the red ring, it's just 9 becomes just much, much, much easier.
Yeah, I would say the key word in what you said is the as soon as you get the red ring, because when you're on your way there, you have to deal with an extra Patra, as well as doing a pretty difficult clip under stressful Wizrobe conditions, which we'll see in a sec.
Yeah, and to Tetrally's point, it's not a free ring grab necessarily. I mean, I think if anything, if you want to play it safe, you definitely have to try to minimize your damage. But you'll see Lyle, as soon as he hits the first Patra room, known as Patra 1, he's going to deviate south instead to go get that red ring, and it's going to be a little bit of a minefield, so definitely keep an eye on Lyle's screen. Yeah,
but since it is the one true ring to rule them all, you can understand why the game developers would want to keep it a little bit guarded.
I'm going to say it again, the game knows.
Yes, precious. So Lyle's going to be detouring to the south right here, while John is going to be using beam swords in the river room. Nice that he was able to keep his beams, being very careful to avoid damage in level 7.
Okay, so here's the extra Patra that we don't normally face in the 90% route, but Lyle just missed the first bomb, unfortunately.
Ooh, taking it extra safe and almost killing the Patra there, but taking out a lot of the orbitals.
I forget, Tetrally, do the little orbitals respawn?
I think unless you kill them all, the entire Patra respawns.
Ooh, so maybe he should have figured it out.
No, Lyle's having trouble with the clip. This is the stressful clip I was talking about before. Oh,
yeah, the ring grab is not free. This is a sketchy room.
No, it is very not free. Watch out for those red Wizrobes. Oh,
no! Unfortunate death for Lyle. Let's see what... he did not pick up a potion, so it'll be interesting to see how he decides to play this.
Yeah, he could have gone outside really quickly and picked up a blue potion, but... that's rough. So John is picking up the red candle, so he's catching up a little bit relative to Lyle. This is going to be a tight race here. At least it's gotten a lot tighter because of that death there. So
yeah, that could be that could be catastrophic for Lyle. Let's see. Hopefully he could recover. I mean, if he could get to the ring, I mean, that would still be the equivalent of 12 hearts, so he would be in an okay situation, but... I mean, at this point, I mean... Tetrally, what would you do if you were in the situation? I mean, because, like,
honestly, if I was Lyle and I had 51 rupees to my name, I would be going right outside to pick up a potion. But then again, I'm not Lyle, so, you know, I'm not the one playing here.
Yeah, I guess the other backup potential, I guess, would be just whistling to a nearby fairy fountain, I guess. But yeah, let's get some blessed RNGs in chat for Lyle.
Oh, down to the last orbital there. Okay, able to take down that Patra, okay? And has the map of level 9 if he wants to pick it up.
Some pause strats from Lyle as well. Giving him the ability to read the room and try to, get some clean movement. Oh,
stay away from that red wizard, though.
Ooh,
getting a heart there.
Nice heart drop. Helps. That helps. Every heart helps at this point.
Okay, using pause strats here, probably waiting for the red wizards to go by. Don't get red beamed, don't get red beamed. Don't get blue beamed either. Oh, this is so nerve-wracking.
This is...
Getting the reverse clip, but getting phased by a wizrobe on his way there. Oh my gosh.
So John just getting this Triforce in 7, so he's going to be catching up. This is actually
if you're listening to this, buy a potion, please buy a potion. No, that's not the way you go buy a potion. Oh boy. Well, now this is turning into a race again. John is catching up and has a lot more health than Lyle does going in here.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing, I don't know what he's thinking. It looks like he is trying to force... I was going to say maybe try to force a fairy if he kills 16 in a row. But that might be a little tricky to do in here, in level 9 of all places. Meanwhile, John just about to enter level 9 right now.
Oh, I see. He's got his count up to 10 or so from the Landmala here. And forces a fairy. Nice. Okay.
All right, so that does buy him a little room. It's not free, though, still, by any means. As we said, the red whiz robes do 4 hearts of damage, and the blue do 2, so...
exactly,
we definitely
but we see John is now just a stairway away here, so... This is going to be dangerous.
I mean, they're pretty much neck and neck, although John, again, full health, and still has the potion, I believe. I don't think he used it yet.
No, he didn't use his potion in level 8, I believe, so...
Down to the wire, folks. Let's...
Alright, so here's the what's going to make or break the game coming up. John's going to be a little bit careful with this Patra here, even... oh yeah, I see. I'm sorry, I got my Patras mixed up. Oh. Hey, Lyle gets the clip. Yes.
There we go, Lyle. Yeah, for those of you watching, that clip is not easy to execute. There's just wizrobes flying everywhere, and if you get bubbled, you can't sword buffer the clip either, so it does get really sketchy in there if you're not careful.
And very stressful because you feel very rushed into getting it. John is not having an easy time with the clip either, getting jostled around by these blue wizrobes too, and is in firing range from the red wizrobes. Doing a reverse clip, although denied. Oh, now he's down to 4 hearts. Use your potion, John.
He does have that potion, so yeah, this is going to be a tight race, because Lyle, again, with 3.5 hearts, what is that? That's roughly like 14, 15 something. I can't do the math right now that quick, but he doesn't have a full set of health that you would normally have, like, compared to any percent, so it's not an easy finish for him by any means.
Yeah. No, that was definitely a good thing, and I see we have sipping emotes in chat, which is definitely what you want to do when you want to encourage folks to use their potion.
I think Lyle was beating up the old man, not just for fun, but I think he was trying to work up a count again. I'm guessing he's going to try to get a fairy, but he did take a couple bops, so that... Oh, wait, there we go.
I think that was a...
It might have been a global...
lucky fairy. But...
Yeah, but it works. I mean, the thing that's beautiful about the red ring in 9, if you get that fairy, that's still 4 hearts, but that's 4 times 4, which is 16. So it's quite a blessing to have the red ring and a fairy.
Yeah. So basically, Lyle has the lead in terms of what room he is in level 9, but John has a big health advantage with basically a full inventory of health. He can pretty much go in full-on tank mode, just going through. Look at how quickly he just went through that next room there of Wizards.
Yeah, and Lyle, unfortunately, losing time fighting Patratude. Normally, if the conditions are right, you could clip and skip it completely, but this might actually be a bit of an equalizer. If John is able to get the clip, it's going to be pretty close.
Yeah, well, a certain member of the community says level 9 is often a great equalizer and randomizer, but it may just be that way tonight as well.
Well, a little bumping around from Patratude, but John did get the clip. Lyle in the infamous reverse C. Very notoriously difficult room in the level 9 and the speed.
Taking his time getting hit by the blue wizards, he's down to 6 hearts, but still doing. And John getting a clock in reverse C. That's definitely going to help him fly through.
Sweet merciful clock. He is saved. Wow. So this is going to come down to the wire, folks. This is actually really crazy.
And getting the clip to go in quicker. Yeah, I think he's down to only about 10 or 15 seconds behind Lyle. Hey, this is still a lot closer than it may seem.
Yeah, so depending on how the trap room goes and the Patra 3 fight, excuse me, I'm like trying to count. Again, this is still anyone's race at this point.
Yeah, nice job. John missed the reverse clip initially, but got a really good backup of it pretty quickly afterwards, so didn't lose much time there. Lyle's going to be bombing left here in order to get into the trap room. Getting a lucky bomb drop, he'll go back and pick those up, although getting stuck in Pancake, that'll delay him a little bit here. Getting the red wizards right off the bat, and a great bomb placement on the blues.
So yeah, the Patra 3 fight might make or break this, depending on the Ganon spawns too. I'm guessing John's going to do fast, definitely considering his health. But Lyle, I don't know if he's going to try fast Patra. I think the
difference is down to about 5 seconds. Lyle's got to go quick, and John's got to put on the gas. If he does a fast Patra, I think he'll be able to comfortably do that with his health and get some time back on Lyle.
Wow, this is
super
close,
folks.
All right, Patra 3. Let's see what.
This may come down to which way Ganon goes in.
Yeah, this is really anyone's race still at this point. Okay, so Lyle not doing fast Patra. John is.
Yeah, see how John, with all that extra health, he can just tank the Patras and.
It's gonna come down to Ganon.
Oh my gosh, they're basically
entering
at almost the same exact time. Wow, here's Ganon, folks, on both screens. Okay, John getting a perfect Ganon fight, Lyle finishing up.
Wow, this is too close.
Oh my gosh.
I can't even tell.
The sync between these folks. Now so it looks like John just barely pulled ahead in. As far as the official SRL times, lylovir is finished first place with a time of 46 minutes and 56 seconds. John finishing second place with a time of 47 minutes even. Wow, that was close.
What a race, folks. Please get the GGs out in chat for johntabin and lylovir. That was an incredible race down to the wire. Seconds apart.
Wow. I'm still catching my breath, folks.
Yeah, my heart rate went up watching that race. GG's again, folks. Wow, we just witnessed an incredible race.
Yeah, and to answer the question in chat, lylovir did win. The rules of the tournament stipulate that it's the response from racebot to your .done, which is what makes the difference. So, yeah, a 4-second win in terms of the SRL time.
All right, now with the first race done, who's ready for some swordless action?
I'm just going to take my sword and put it behind my back. Oh, no swords here.
So yeah, the next race that's going to be coming up, we're just going to give them, I think, a few seconds and minutes to just kind of set up the next race. But I believe it was John Tabin. Lylovir picked 100% as the first race. John Tabin picked Swordless as the second race. So this is going to be a very interesting one. We'll see.
All right.
We'll see what happens.
So what I'm going to do is switch. We're going to have a little bit of a break while we switch over to Swordless and get a new room set up for them in SRL. So stay tuned, folks. We'll just be a couple of minutes. And if that 100% race is any indication, I think this Swordless race is going to be absolutely amazing to see as well. So sit back and relax, folks.